Obviously, you've been in camp for about a week and a half here in the fall. You've seen these guys throughout the summer. What do you like about this New Haven team getting into the 2016 season?
Well, the biggest thing that we've been focusing on during the offseason is just coming together as a team and having good team chemistry. And so I'm liking to see that come together. Guys being selfless and caring more about the team than themselves. Obviously, we got some good things going on the football field, but to me, that's the number one thing that we're focusing on.
Where are you at defensively in terms of returning starters, numbers-wise, and then also what have you seen from this defense? Because, Trey, Griggs, I mean, I don't know if you had a lot of guys graduate, but you had big-time playmakers graduate.
Yeah, graduation hurt us worse on the defensive side of the ball. We lost, Trey Jackson is an all-state kid. Desmond Coleman was an all-conference kid. Griggs was an all-conference kid. We lost 5 starters on the defensive side of the ball, so we got 6 back. Hurt most on the outside linebacker positions and then the safety. But we got Ivan Upshaw, who's an all-conference safety. We got 2 corners that we were feeling pretty good about. We got Jorian Freeman at defensive line, Roy Ayers at defensive line, and one of our inside linebackers back. So we've got a good group coming back, and they're just helping to bring these young, hungry kids on. And we got a lot of guys competing for positions, and they're fighting it out.
A lot of people will be happy with 6 starters back on defense. How have these older guys that have kind of been through the Friday night battle started to catch some of the younger guys up? And what do you see in terms of leadership and in terms of talent on the defensive side of the football? Speed, size, execution?
Well, leadership's a work in progress. I mean, it's been a focus for us. We're not where we need to be just yet, but we're heads and shoulders better than we were a year ago. So we've got those guys that I mentioned, the Ivan Upshaws, the Jacob Birches, the Jorian Freemans, who are stepping up and being leaders and just kind of showing the guys by example what we want them to do, and then also encouraging them and sometimes getting in their face if they're not getting the job done. And so we've had some good positive leadership on the defensive side of the ball that I think will pay its dividends this year.
Tell me about offense, because you guys have one of, if not the most experienced QB running back combos with Nishan and Keyshawn. How are those guys set the tone and set the precedent of what you guys are trying to accomplish offensively?
Yeah, Keyshawn Moore, we talk about leadership, has been the biggest transformation in my mind on our entire football team. He's kind of taken over that team leader role on both sides of the ball. The kids respect him. He's obviously been there and done this. This is basically his third year starting at quarterback. He's had success, and he leads by example. And then you got Nishan Jones, a 3-year starting running back with nearly 3,000 yards in 2 years. Obviously he has the respect of the team, and the team pays attention to him. We've got our entire offensive line back from a year ago. That's a big thing. They were young a year ago. We struggled there. We're hoping that's going to be a strength for us this year. Where we lost most was our receiving core, but we feel we're real comfortable with the kids that we have. We got some kids that I think are going to be awfully good on Friday nights.
Most coaches will be super pleased with 5 guys back as your starters on the offensive line. How does that kind of set the tone for what you guys are doing, knowing that these guys up front, people always talk about you win games in the trenches, specifically in a conference like the Northeast 8 where it's physical football. How important is that to have those guys back and to have that cohesive unit up front?
Well, they're 1 year stronger. They're 1 year more mature, and they have 1 more year of confidence. They've been through it. They've done it. They've struggled. They know what it takes to be a good offensive lineman. And so their work during the offseason obviously was a big thing, and we've got some good work there. And the biggest thing you mentioned was chemistry, just them being able to communicate on the offensive line, knowing how to trust one another, knowing how to talk to one another, knowing how to encourage one another, I think will help.
A final question for me, if there is one thing you guys are focusing on or a focal point leading up to that August 19th game against Heritage when you kick it all off, what would it be for this New Haven team as a whole?
No doubt about it. Be a team, good team chemistry, and selfless football.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you very much.